Alright, Team Morocco. This was a deck we were playing a bunch of in Standard before they banned Field of the Dead. Got some similar ideas going on here. We've got 8 mana creatures, and this build, notably, we're playing Elves instead of Boreal Grazers like we're playing in the Standard build. We've got Once Upon a Time to help find these things more consistently. We are playing Bonecrusher Giant in this build because we want to be a little bit interactive in this format because there's a lot of aggressive decks that kind of get under a linear game plan here. Stubborn Denial is kind of premium interaction here. It's 1 mana negate basically if your creature with 4 power or greater in play, and just like counter unless they pay 1 is relevant in the early game a lot of the time. Past our Stubborn Denials, we got some Oko Thief for the Crowns and our Royal Scions here. We got our top end of Glorybringer, Wicked Wolf, and then some Chandra Torture Defiance. I think Oko, Chandra, Glorybringer, these are like 3 of the best mid-range threats in this format, and I think Wicked Wolf is not far behind them. So Wicked Wolf and Glorybringer are like the 2 best Flame Tongue Kavu style creatures in Pioneer, I think. They're creatures that come into play and kill something, basically, so high hopes for this one. The core of cards is super reasonable. Let's hop on into a Pioneer League here and see how it goes. I wonder if this Glorybringer promo is worth something at this point. Probably not. I can't imagine there's that much demand for it. Ooh, it's worth half a ticket. Exciting. I've been enjoying the Mythgard content. You got me into it, and I've been loving it. Hey, good to hear, Mazer. Yeah. Wednesdays or third Tuesdays, whatever day the update was, historic. Good things. Hey, congrats, all. Pretty easy mulligan here. No green source, no Once Upon a Time. This hand's not great, but I think it's a keep on 6. It's alright. I got a bunch of cleaning done. Get bottom the extra Glorybringer here. And we'll lead on Stomping Ground so that if we draw a Mana Dork on 2, we can go tap Steam Vent Mana Dork. Has there been a no Marvel energy strategy similar to the standard Temur list? I believe there's been various energy decks in the 5-0 dumps that are not Marvel. In fact, Marvel itself has not put up results from my understanding. That deck's different, Percy. So, what's it called? Pummeler's different than like Temur energy mid-range type stuff. Yeah, Marvel getting Oko'd and not working while 3 mana stuff freeze in play is a pretty big downside. Dear Once Upon a Time, please get banned on Monday. Sincerely, everyone. Yeah, I agree. I actually think the Energy Bob, whatever you want to call it, the Menace Dork, I'm blanking on its name, is the best energy payoff in Pioneer. Glint Leaf Siphoner, Gilt Leaf Siphoner, whatever the Siphoner is. I think is the best energy payoff in the format. Once upon a time, there was a Goblin Rabblemaster. Is there a dork? And we're dead. It's a good chat. We tried. Everybody tried. So playing the Steam Vent second here is bad in the event that we draw another fast land. But it does mean I get to play my 3-drop without it, without taking damage next turn, which is nice. So regardless of what I do with Oko, it's going to die next turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of the Rabblemaster. Hey, thanks for the 10 months, Game Boney. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Milbot, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. Alright, that's not too bad since I have Wicked Wolf here. Rabblemaster Lovestruck Beast is hot. It's kind of sweet. I completely agree that Kaladesh would not have been overpowering in Historic. I would bet the lack of inclusion of Kaladesh in Historic is largely related to the fact that they had some kind of compatibility issues with how those sets were coded in the current Arena code base. Because if it was super trivial to, like, put Kaladesh and stuff into Historic, there's a good business reason to do so, because then people would have to rebuy those cards, so... Yeah, I think Embercleave's a good assumption out of the opponent's deck. Doing alright, Brian. Get a little bit run over in our first game here, though. We've got some Wild Flash and some Roast post-board weight to bring in here. Oh, we have Aether Gust, too. It's gonna be great. Our 5/5 here is real scary. I basically just don't have a good play. I guess I just bin that and do this. But, like, this 5/5 is just going to kill us very quickly. What's Mythgard? Mythgard is a fully digital card game that we've been streaming a little bit of. Conceding to their Glorybringer. Yep. So pretty easy sideboard plan here. Bring in ways to kill their stuff. Some Scavenging Oozes, some Aether Gust. Stubborn Denial's not particularly exciting here. Royal Scions just gets attacked. I wonder if Chandra's good here. I guess she kills opposing Glorybringers. I feel like I want to drag my curve down, though. And if I'm trimming Chandra, I'm going to trim a Heart. This seems fine. Is Pioneer Slivers buildable? I have no idea. Do we have multiple sets worth of Slivers in the format? Yeah, Lovestruck Beast is super playable. All the adventure creatures are very good. I mean, I literally have Roast sitting right here, Polly. So, like, 8 clean answers. Wicked Wolf is technically an answer. Boarding in Reclamation Sage to try and tag Embercleave after they've already hit me with it sounds really awful. I already have Oko and Aether Gust, and I can just, like, try and kill their things. Yep, yeah, anything you miss, Brute, will always end up on YouTube. 5-color Niv is the 3rd deck today, so it'll probably be up in, like, 3.5 hours. Like, the other thing is, like, Reclamation Sage just, like, basically doesn't have text here outside of, like, Shatter Your Thing. Oko made it onto the Know Your Meme website. That's great. You'll love to see it. Congrats, R&D. You jacked the game up enough and then left it broken long enough that that's what happened. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. It's going to be interesting to see if Arena / Magic in general has responses to Runeterra rolling out and the new Hearthstone Auto Battler. I think both of those things are well poised to hurt what Arena's doing. Yeah, I was a little upset, Hyder. I wanted to watch, I don't have a TV in my bedroom, and I was like, because normally I just like watching my laptop or whatever. And I wanted to watch a movie on Disney Plus on my netbook while I was doing laundry last night, and just straight up doesn't work on Linux. I was very upset. Hey, thanks for the third of a year, Phantom. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. I think I just want to stomp on their guy rather than play Oko. Maybe this is wrong. I don't know. The Legends of Runeterra is destined to be super successful just because the Riot IP is huge. League of Legends is the biggest MOBA by a lot. And it'll be on mobile. Just by virtue of the fact that it's going to be on mobile will allow it to be successful in ways that Arena just can't. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Valve follows suit and decides to release a card game, since League of Legends did. A lot of times those companies try to do the same things, they all released Auto Battler, so I expect we'll see them all release card games now. It'll be interesting to see if Valve decides that's an avenue they want to explore. I'm doing Swell Monster, man. How many concurrent players in Artifact at the moment? You mean artifacts like Smugglers? Smuggler's Copter's not an artifact anymore because it's an elk now. Now, if I don't block, this dies to a stomp, but I think I'm okay with that. So, if I wasn't blocking here, I missed a point of damage. I should have attacked them before elking this last turn. Hey, Ebok, hope your recovery goes swiftly. We'll be here. Yeah, there's the stomp. Hey, Roast is a good draw since they just did the Love Struck Beast. So I get to go ahead and do this and exert it. And kill this Smuggler's Chapter. And then next turn I can go tapped land, Bonecrusher, Roast their Love Struck Beast. All jokes aside, Artifact will probably someday be a textbook example that's used of people mistaking complexity for depth. And the problem with Artifact and the reason why it ultimately failed was because its core gameplay was not good. It had a lot of things going on, and none of them were particularly deep or interesting. It's a very tedious game. So exert, for people not familiar, this is an older mechanic. So exert means this doesn't untap during our next untap step. And when we exert it, we get to deal 4 damage to something. So basically this thing attacks every other turn if we wanted to, and it deals 4 damage to one of their creatures every other turn. Non-dragon creature, specifically. Yeah, from a software perspective, Artifact was very well done. It's why I'm glad, I'm super glad. Since I drew a second roast, I'm going to go ahead and roast this. If I hadn't drawn a second roast, I think I would have just traded or like waited for Glorybringer to kill Questing Beast. But with the second one here for the Love Struck Beast, I think this is fine. That's why I'm excited. I hope Mythgard ends up going places. It's a tough game market, but their software is good and their core gameplay is great. All right, so this game should be pretty over. Oh yeah, super over. That's weird. We played 2 not close games, and the person on the play was ahead every time. Actually, that's not true. They were on the draw for the first game. They had the Mana Dork. They had the Mana Dork in the first game, though. I was thinking about Exert and thinking about how the keyword mechanics, Exert, Evolve, Investigate, the magic introduced have basically been very good since forever. What was the last bad keyword mechanic, like the one that didn't produce good gameplay? It's an interesting question, Burgle. I don't think I know offhand. Krayez, thanks for the 11 months. The last year has turned me off to Magic. Thanks for being the last hope for MTG Entertainment. Hey, Pioneer is great if you haven't given it a try yet. I agree with you that Standard's been rough and Modern's been on a downswing. Pioneer has thoroughly rejuvenated my love for exploring the game. Sharps, thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Bant, Eldrazi, and Pioneer. I don't think there's a meaningful reason to be Bant. Like the blue-green Eldrazi deck is plenty, and I don't feel like you gain value by adding white to it. Part of the reason why the white splash is so easy and mostly free in Modern is you have more pain lands in Modern, so you have all the colors of pain lands, and you have Noble Hierarch, which helps. Competitive Magic for the last year hasn't been that fun. Lukewarm take. Magic's a bad competitive game. Lukewarm take. Magic's a much better game when you're just like playing to have a good time. Magic's got a lot of variance in it, and like trying to put your self-worth and like your emotions into your results in Magic is it's a recipe for feeling rough. You're gonna lose a lot of games in Magic that are just thoroughly outside your control. In. I don't know. I think that's really hard to do, Burgle, for a lot of people. I would bet that there's people that can do it, but like when you're spending a lot of time and energy to play a game competitively, like if you're just like showing up and playing a tournament and like not putting any effort into it, like I definitely agree that disconnect is easy. But like when you're spending like hours and energy and money like testing for a thing, and then like ultimately a lot of the time that preparation doesn't mean anything, like it's hard to divorce those two things from each other, I think, for the average human being, myself included. It's like the Twitch Rivals tournament next week. I think we're gonna play a grand total of 0 games of Standard before the tournament. They're gonna like update the ban list, and we'll just figure out what we're doing. without playing games, because the bans won't be in effect on the actual client. Wow, way to stompy my elf. How many hours do you get between the bans and Twitch rivals? Approximately 24. I really hope they ban Once Upon a Time in Standard next week, so I can register a deck that doesn't play it. I would like to register a deck that doesn't play Once Upon a Time. It's effectively a rotation Kreyaz, and it's not, like, rotating sets like that is just not a successful. It's not a successful thing to do. Players who want rotating formats play Standard. Yeah, the announcements are on Monday. Usually Monday about 10 a.m. Central is usually the scheduled update for non-Pioneer stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and just Wild Slash this. So that way I can't crew the copter next turn. Players who want good rotating formats, I assume they play games that aren't Standard. I assume you're obligated to do that. Alright, so Glorybringer doesn't kill their 5/5 here. So I guess we're just attacking for 4. Feels like we're in a poor position in this matchup. I just have a bunch of things that are bigger than our stuff. I guess I have Roasting Gust and Oko. We see an Oko, we're probably okay. Copter feels real annoying though. This is their Bonecrusher Giant in exile. Not that you can tell from the interface, because Magic Online. The fact that Smuggler's Copter lets them tap their 1/1 goblins before they die is so sick. So this has to attack, which normally means it would have to run into my 4/3, but weird that they didn't smash with Love Struck Beast. I guess they just lose the race in the backswing if they do that. Alright, once upon a time there was a... Yep, there was a thing. Alright, I guess we're killing Goblin Rebel Master here. Can I get a refund on my Demonic Tutor? Yesterday was productive. Well, on a scale of 1 to dead, feeling like we're firmly on the dead side of the scale here. Their deck's really sweet. Rebel Master's a real good card. Rebel Master plus Smuggler's Copter is really slick. Love Struck Beast interfaces well with all the things they have going on. And we've got some lands. And that's like one of the problems with archetypes like this is you have to play so much mana that you're like pretty prone to flooding, right? Like our deck only has 22 lands in it, but we also have 8 mana creatures, and like Once Upon a Time is also sometimes a land, like we saw that game. So like this deck is 50+% mana, is a real thing to consider. So the games that go a little bit long, where you like run past your first, say, like 5 turns, you're like pretty prone to flooding. Bonfire of the Dead. I'm super glad that there are not miracle cards in this format. Oh, Game Trail. Why you gotta do me dirty like that, Game Trail? All right, we're on the draw. We got 2 shots and an untapped land or something to make this untap. So put it mulligan to 5. Good beats. Morning Gorks. Once upon a time, there was a Thunderous Wrath. I bet the burn decks would play that in this format. They're really lacking, like, strong spells. Carrie BM, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Well, I guess we'll take Mana Confluence. That does let me Oko. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this goose at? What are we thinking? Three of the top 4 streams in the Magic section right now, currently featuring Magic's premier play client, Magic the Gathering Online. That's exciting. It's a good pickup. All right, pierce me, daddy. Yeah, Loco is in. This is a sick curve. Goose, Oko, Chandra banger. Tracker? Can we play Tracker and Mayhem Devil in this format? Is that a thing? I feel like that could be a thing. So Chandra exiles the top card of your deck, and you can cast it if you have mana, but if you don't cast it, they take 2, so oopsie daisy. Our opponent mulled to 5. Looks like they're playing a control deck. Interesting. I assume they're going to take these. They took the Fires of Invention. Okay. Sure. So let's do that. Let's stick banger. Let's make this a 3. We'll kill Jace. Hit them. Remember when people wanted fires banned in standard? You might hear talk about that again soon. If they hamstring green, fire's gonna end up being real good. Elk to the Goose to play around a sweeper. Yeah. I don't know that like hitting them for 3 this turn is that big of a deal. Play the land before we play the Chandra, because Chandra can't play the land anyways. This way if Chandra flips up a 5-drop, we can cast it. I agree that fire is incredibly powerful. Concur with that take. Want to keep the dorks for Chandra Emblem. Disagree. I think the odds they interact with my Chandra are high, and I'd rather get the dorks into play so I can start attacking them. If I get to emblem my Chandra, I'm gonna win the game eventually. There's no reason to hold the dorks. Much rather have insurance in case they interact with the Chandra. Yeah, remember Shaheen Sarani? He's never allowed to decide the ban list. It's like Wanted Carnage Tyrant banned. Yep. So we have Goose here to continue pumping out food. We got Oko to continue turning that food into 3/3s. Yep. Great. Need a Stompy guy or a Haste Creature. Yep. I don't know. My opponent's at 0 cards, so like, I think conceding at this point is premature. Like, Oko is 2 cards down at the moment. So, like, we're behind, but this game's not over. And, like, if we hit something to deal with Tef, we guaranteed get to deal with Tef because they have fires out, so they're currently playing Hearthstone. So, like... People like to scoop way too soon. Yeah, opponent's draw panned out okay. I mean, our draw's been pretty rancid, right? Like, these 2 cards were exiled to Chandra and we didn't cast them. So I've drawn 1... 2. We've had 3 non-mana creature. We've had 3 non-mana creature spells in 16 cards. feels bad, man. And again, that's just, you know, it's part of Magic. Just how the game works. It's a lot of games like those in this game. I think we're trimming Mana Dorks against their deck full of sweepers. It's probably Bonecrusher Giant out too here, huh? This dies to Deafening Clarion. I think I like this. Let's give it a try. Sure. Not amazing, but fine. Hey, Animated Mellow. Thanks for the 28 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having an excellent Friday wherever you are. I don't know if I strictly agree with that, Steve. Like, and this is one of the reasons why I think banning Field of the Dead was kind of silly. If you look at the data from the Mythic Championship where Field of the Dead was legal and a bunch of people showed up with food decks, like, the food mid-range decks ended up finding configurations that were ultimately pretty okay against, Field of the Dead. You look at how the actual games ended up playing out. Give me that dirty D. Yeah, the power level in general has definitely been super pushed in Magic recently. Bob and Cheese, who's playing in the Invitational this weekend, had a tweet that I thought was really good. He posted his modern deck removing the cards that had been added in the last 2 years, and like his modern deck was like close to 50% cards that have been printed in the last 2 years, which is like pretty unreal. Is this Heart of Kiran card good against control decks? What do we think? No, Devoted Druid, actually. Yeah, and the other half of the cards were like the mana base. It was like the mana base and Stoneforge Mystic were the other cards. Alright. Sure. So, with unraveling this next turn, we're in a pretty reasonable spot here. We'd love to draw some lands. I think I need to just get rid of this here, as much as I want to once upon a time for some lands. Hey, Quarth, thanks for the 16 months. Welcome back. Hope you're having an excellent Friday wherever you are. Yeah, Oko Heart is extra good. Agree, because Oko's loyalty is high. He doesn't really care about spending one every turn to crew this thing. Yeah, they failed to plateau, Polly, is what it feels like. Like, sets are always going to have varying power levels, but, like, you have to stop at a certain point, right? It can't just be all upward momentum. Like, variations in power level is fine and expected even. But, like, a constant upward push just, like, ends up in a bad spot. Supreme Verdict's your 3/3. Yep. Alright, well, I mean, I think with that draw, we just, like, hit them down to 1 and pass here, right? Solid two-lander this game. Man, Heart plus Oko is busted. Sure. Hand's great. Chandra Fire Artisan. I just don't think Chandra Fire Artisan is playable in this format. Chandra Torture Defiance is just a much better card. Well, so, like, it's a delicate balance, Squid Squad, because, like, if their newest set is just, like, all medium, people have less of a reason to buy cards from it. So, like, I mean, their jobs definitely aren't easy, right? Like I've frequently said on stream, I don't expect Wizards of the Coast and their designers to always get it right. Like, designing Magic cards is incredibly complicated, and there's a lot of variables going on with, like, the things that they're working with. My issue is, like, take this recent kerfluffle or whatever you want to call it with the current standard format. My problem isn't that they created a bad format. My problem is that they created a bad format and then they left it to rot. Like, we should not be waiting. We shouldn't have had to wait as long as we've waited for them to ban things. Like, that's the issue right now. The issue is not that things need to be banned. Like, yeah, mistakes happen. The issue is that it's taken them so long to actually move the needle. And actually be like, okay, yeah, this isn't okay, we need to fix it. I don't expect there to not be mistakes. I just expect those mistakes to be addressed in a timely manner. It's taken them so long I've uninstalled Arena. You're not the only one. Well, ain't that a bag of dicks? Well, ain't that a bag of something? That's fine. I didn't want to interact with you anyways, opponent. The person that just messaged me and asked me why you got timed out, I'm tired of ranting at people, so I'm just like timing people out and not telling them why. Sure, I'll tell you why. You said in your message that I timed out that you thought your line was good. I get it. Like, every time someone posts a message, they're posting their message because they think their line is good. I'm not just looking for, I think my line is good. I want to know why you think your line is better than what I did. Because obviously I think my line is better. That's why I took my line. 9 times out of 10. Sometimes I just miss it. But 9 times out of 10, I took the line I took because I think it's better than what you're suggesting. So don't just say, I think my line is good. You need to explain why you think why it's better than what I did. Like there's lots of lines at any given point. Like for example, in the specific situation you're talking about that you got timed out for, you wanted me to be more aggressive, and then we got Deafening Clarion. So the reason why I think your line is worse is because it extends into Deafening Clarion and gets us slaughtered that way. Oh, you know what? See, look, Navier's got a super clean example here. I think killing the Teferi would be better here, because then we would get to hold up Disdainful Stroke. And you know what? Look, that's such a good example. This is a different play, and this is why it's better. And I agree with Navier. I think that's a great suggestion. I'm going to be honest. I just wasn't thinking about this card attacking. Just like, wasn't on my mind that attacking with this was something I could be doing. And I completely agree that attacking with this and killing the Teferi so I can hold up counter spells here probably wins us the game. So yeah, just made a mistake. And again, that's a good example. This is the better play. This is why it's better. The whys are so super important. The whys create a discussion. The whys give me something to engage with. All right, well, that's their 2 spells for the turn. Sick. All right. Shock this in. Play Rec Sage on this fires. Pass the turn. An example too perfect at a perfect time. Pre-recorded stream. Pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience. Yeah, if we hadn't hit good cards there, Navier, I agree that the line would have been Glorybringer, the Teferi with stub backup. So I think I want to just soft stub them here. Because I think next turn I want a Chandra. And the sweet thing about chalking on these turns is it looks like I'm kind of just like holding up Goose activation. So we're in a pretty good spot here now. The games where we don't have a bunch of lands are really good for this deck. Maybe we're supposed to have more Royal Scions in it. I cut the second Royal Scions to try and fit in a 22nd land. Maybe that was a mistake. Scions is really good this game. Provide us a little bit of good filtering in the early. And like, Scions helps mitigate that downside of having a lot of mana in our deck, which is valuable. Sure. That's a pretty good suggestion. When in doubt, play a creature land. I can see that being okay. Fumarole. Lumbering Falls is a playable card too. I've liked Lumbering Falls in other decks that I've played. Hey, GGC. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Oaklandia. Hope you're having an excellent Friday wherever you are. When I think I want to cut a land, cut the worst land and replace it with a creature land. Yep. Lumbering Falls is much better with Scion. You're not wrong. And just Hexproof. Hexproof in general is really good in the control matchups. I just like let Jace happen. I'm just going to let Jace happen here. You bump Blue Red Eldrazi to 26 lands. I could see that. I definitely think I want 25. I don't know about 26, though. What was I going to say? I also think if they don't ban Once Upon a Time, that Bob and Cheese's variation that just has 4 Once Upon a Time minutes, a splash screen is probably better. Which is, again, why Once Upon a Time is such a deeply offensive card that should not remain legal. Like, you should not gain consistency in your deck by splashing a third color. That's not how Magic should work. I am pretty confident at this point that if you're playing any 1 or 2 color creature deck in Standard or Pioneer, it's strictly correct to splash Once Upon a Time while that card's legal. I think your comparison there is unfounded, Master Neo. I think the fact that you couldn't play either of those formats that you just listed as actual queues on Magic Online or Magic Arena greatly impacted their ability to be successful. Yeah, like the Zombies deck should probably splash once. Mono Blue Devotion should probably splash once. All of these decks should probably include Once Upon a Time. If you're looking to be strictly optimal and competitive, I think all of those decks will be better with a green splash for Once Upon a Time. You're probably better off not playing Tempest Shin and playing Once Upon a Time. What would I put in the one spot in the Elves deck if it gets banned on Monday? I have no idea, Mike. Probably 2 lands and 2 spells. No, that's a lie. It's definitely 2 lands and 2 spells. So I'm gonna Disdainful Stroke this granted because there's a chance that, like, whatever they're getting, I can't Disdainful Stroke, so. And if they, like, play another big card here to clear the board, I have, like, another Glorybringer to finish them off. And, like, in the mono blue deck, speaking from a splash perspective, you probably just, like, cut Tempest Shin, play 4 Breeding Pool, 4 Botanical Sanctums, and, like, some Yavimaya Coast, and play Once Upon a Time in Oko and just call it a day. I just want this card gone because it just makes deck building boring. Like, the correct answer is basically build a deck and then cut your 2 sweetest creatures and 2 lands and play 4 Once Upon a Time. It takes one of the most interesting parts of Magic, in my opinion, and just like removes it. Or doesn't remove it, it makes it less interesting. Removing it is too extreme. It makes it less interesting. Hey, thanks for the 19 months, Swingy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday wherever you are in the world. Yeah, cutting the second copy of this is wrong. In fact, after playing this deck, I'm not convinced that I don't want, like, 3 copies of it. Yeah, I agree, Polly. Planeswalkers. Like, this deck, if we lose once upon a time, we probably go up to 24 lands with 2 creature lands and play 2 more Royal Scions. So, dear Wizards of the Coast, do the right thing on Monday. Ban once in multiple formats. Please and thank you. I expect Green Devotion to be super popular this weekend at the Invitational still and be very successful in spite of, like, banning multiple things from it. Alright, sweet. Opponent playing a Sacrifice deck, it looks like here. Or some people in chat were talking about this a little bit ago. Huh? You know what, this Goose Draw, I'm actually just going to play this turn so we can Glorybringer next turn. I guess if I don't draw a land, I can't Glorybringer. Hopefully we draw an untapped land. Tilt. Welcome to Thunderdome. Yep. So comes into play, make a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, you can pay 1 to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal a permanent, and put it into your hand. Alright, so I'm going to exert and kill their food here. And smack Oko down to 3. And then next turn, hopefully we'll draw another land. And then second dragon can exert, kill something. Oh, they're chumping with Goose. Okay, sure. Gold Dead Ringer, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. If they elk this Glorybringer, is it still exerted? I don't know. Let's find out. I think it is. I believe it's still the same instance, right? It's not like leaving play and coming back in. So there's 2 questions we have to ask here, though. Like, if this gets elked, is it still exerted? And the second question is, if this gets elked, is it still exerted on Magic Online? Because those two things are not always the same. Wait, did they send the cat at me? Weird. Looking for an untapped land here. Alright, do we just like jam Glorybringer number 2? I think that's the play. Here there be dragons. Yeah, maybe they misclicked. I'm gonna exert on the food again. So they can chump block the Glintnest Crane here with the Glintnest Crane like they did with the Goose last turn, which I expect them. No, really? Okay, sure. Interesting. Hopefully they don't have Massacre Girl. Yeah, Massacre Girl would be real rough. Have any Blood Sun decks in the queue? Negative. Well, that doesn't bode well for our hero, chat. That doesn't bode well for our hero. Yeah, I think they have land. Wait, what? They have a different sweeper? They have Languish, maybe? They have an X spell? Hangerback Walker, sure. Weird. Okay. So I think we just give this 2 and then smack Oko, right? So they're out of cards now. They are just trying to kill us. I agree with that assessment. It's probably not a terrible line. I don't know. I've got 2 dragons, right? I feel like just killing us is a little ambitious. We'll start with Once Upon a Time here. How about a 3rd dragon? How about a 3rd dragon? We've got Oko to buff our life total a little bit here too. Okay, they're gonna get to draw a bunch of cards here. I guess with them sacrificing food, they've got a lot of life here still. Yeah, they are just going for the throat here. And I guess I can't meaningfully kill. I guess I can't meaningfully kill the Cauldron Familiars at the moment because they have food. They have food lined up. Oh yeah, I could just steal the Hangerback Walker, right? That's a super good line. I think I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna like make 2 mana, eat this food. Just so I like don't die by mistake here. And I think I just like 10 them. Feeling pretty good here. We got Stubborn Denial up. I feel like with Stubby D up, we're pretty close to an unlosable spot here. Did I miss lethal? No, because they could sack a food, right? They were at a virtual 21. Oh, I should have countered that. It's gonna be okay. All right, Loco's dead. Ten out of 10 should have countered this. All right, so they're going to 15. They're at a virtual 16. Are they dead to a land here? 12. I believe they're dead to a land, right? Because this does 4, 8, 12, 14, 16. So untapped land kills them here. I think I'm just 10ing them again here. And then I'm going to use Chandra to make mana and gain some life again. I guess I can just crack this to gain a life. But I think I'd rather make a food. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat this. We should have them overkill next turn. We've not played any Kisis combo on stream yet. Definitely should have stubbed this. That's It's kind of okay though. I get to stub Oko this turn. Yeah, they're gonna draw a lot of cards, but like it like costs them a mana for every card that they draw, so like and like next turn I have like triple exert, I have Chandra. I think we're pretty okay there. Like if they had more life, I think we would have been in trouble, but I think we were far enough ahead there that we really were in a fine spot. Scavenging Ooze and Aether Gust both seem absurd here. I probably want ways to kill their oven, right? Bonecrusher Giant seems bad here because they can sack things to the oven and then I don't get to go on an adventure. Oh yeah, Trail as well. You probably want these Unravel the Aethers then, huh? Is Stubborn Denial good enough here? Like, they have a lot of non-creature spells, but I feel like we're tapping out in the early game enough that we're not going to have time to get this down. I feel like this might be the trim. Is it that important? Like, I have Okos of my own, and I have, like, my dragons to pressure to their Oko. I have Aether Gust as well. Like, what am I cutting then? If we're not cutting Stubborn Denial? Like, what's the better trim? Heart's pretty medium in the face of Oko. Like, do I have enough threats? I don't think I can cut... Like, if I'm cutting Bonecrusher Giant and I'm cutting Wicked Wolf, leaving Stubborn Denial in seems real bad. Yeah, I don't hate fitting Wild Slash in. Maybe Wicked Wolf's a little medium, so we trim one if I'm bringing in Wild Slash. Sure. Another thing, too, like, based on, like, the suggestions people are making in chat, I think one of the things people do wrong in these matchups a lot of the time is, like, people are basically suggesting I cut every threat in my deck, and, like, I can't just, like, be all answers, chat. I'm not a control deck. I don't have real card advantage to be a control deck. I think taking a more controlling role would be a pretty big mistake here. Yeah, that's true too. Trimming once is fine if we're bringing in a lot of the stuff that we are. You can see that. Smugglers, Chapter A. Right on time, Llanowar Elves. Welcome to the party. I think I'm actually just holding up Unravel here. Yeah, both of these looking excellent. For sure. I think I'm just gonna go ahead. I think I'd rather get rid of Copter than Oven here. Hopefully that's not something I live to regret. I'm just gonna like unravel this, untap, Sage the Trail of Breadcrumbs. Next turn we can go Oko plus Elf. Glint's Nest Crane, yep. Look at the top four, grab an artifact. Oh, my opponent has cast Glint Nest Crane twice so far this matchup. They have put 0 cards into their hand with it. Yes, we can eventually Elk the Oven. Is correct. Not in a hurry to Elk the Oven, since they don't have a cat currently. Once upon a time, there was yeah, like, my opponent's deck has a lot of important artifacts in it, but it feels like they don't... Alright, 3 for 3, missing on Glint Nest Crane. Are 1/3 flyers for 2 good, chat? Where do we stand on 1/3 flyers for 2? It looks at 4 cards, right? Yeah, it does look at 4. So it's not, like, quite Augur of Bolas bad, but it's, like, pretty close. Glorybringer, welcome to the party. One day, we'll see someone forget to pay Echo after stealing a creature with Oko. Maybe. I don't know that Echo creatures are particularly playable. I guess I should once again now, because I could hit a Goose or an Elf that I want to cast. Scavenging Ooze, sure. Hey, Hippity, thanks for the year and a half. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday wherever you are. Well, okay. I think I'm bottoming Glorybringer here. We lost to a Gruul Monsters deck that had Rabble Masters and Smuggler's Copters and Lovestruck Beast. Yeah, this hand's kind of like this hand sucks keep. I guess that's not even true. This hand just needs a land. If we are like running lands, this hand's pretty good. Feels bad, man. Oh, Game Trail. Green Devotion. I bet this matchup is hard. I bet this matchup is hard for the same reason that the Temur Oko deck in Standard was bad against is bad against the food deck. Like, their deck just goes bigger than what we do, and we don't have particularly profitable interaction for what they're doing. I wonder how long this card's gonna survive. I feel like if they want to ban something that's not Nykthos from the opponent's archetype, that needs to be this card. Would not be surprised if Burning Tree Emissary ended up on the Pioneer ban list. And if we get Oko / Wolf going, I mean, that's like worse than a lot of what they do, right? Like Oko plus Wolf just gets like completely destroyed by Yeah, I was really surprised they printed Burning Tree Emissary into Historic as well. I bet we're gonna see a Nykthos reprint in the fall, which means Nykthos BTE is something we're gonna have to deal with in Historic also. Alright, it's our last card to pay off. You know, I actually should not have activated Heart of Kiran and attacked there, because they could have just killed my Oko there. If they would have sent everything at Oko, even if I crew, Oko takes 4. So it's actually a pretty big mistake on my part, and my opponent did not capitalize on it. Historic is not merging into Pioneer. God, Magic players might be one of the most illiterate groups of people in the world, which is impressive considering how much reading is involved in this game. They literally said point blank that Pioneer is not merging into Historic, and they literally printed cards in their first 20 cards that they're adding to Historic that are not Pioneer legal. So for the love of God, there's no need to speculate wildly on things that we have accurate information on. So you're telling me there's a chance? Scavenging Ooze is actually pretty good here. Means they can start throwing away creatures inside of combat and have a giant thing. Or not. Deal. Deal Areno. What's the payoff in the opponent's green deck? Nissa and various X Hydras. Some of them play Hornet Queen. There's been a lot of variation since they banned. A Walking Ballista. Yeah, Ballista's the big one. Accurate. Do I just elk this? They're not really attacking. I'm just going to hang tight. Oh, I could have traded my Oko into swap for it. That's probably not good. 4-mana Vivian gets Ulamog out of the board. That's hot. I haven't been paying super close attention to these Green Devotion decks Because I don't have a competitive tournament for this format super soon, and I'm assuming something else is going to get banned. I assume these green decks are going to take another banning. These green decks are so close to Tron. It's just like, well, I won this game because my opponent just, like, didn't really have anything. I think we're going to Chandra Aether Scavenging Ooze here. Yeah, Heart plus Oko was, like, enough to, like, hold the board down from, like, what little guys they put into play. And then also close the game out in the air. Yeah, if they... And, like, and again, this is why Once Upon a Time is just, like, such a lame card that restricts deck building. I want to play a Heart of Kiran more Planeswalker-based Oko Chandra deck with, like, more Royal Scions and stuff, but, like... As long as Once Upon a Time is legal, it's basically strictly incorrect for me to not be more creature-based. Because being more creature-based rewards me more heavily. Paradise Sal, thanks for 19 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Alright, so Aether Gust and Disdainful Stroke are great here. Wild Slash is fine. I don't know that Stubborn Denial is good enough. I feel like I'm not going to be able to get 4 power creatures onto the board enough for the time. I feel like my last cut's like, is Bonecrusher Giant actually that good when we're on the draw? I feel like it might not be. It's like pretty slow. Like once they've gotten to use their elf on the play, it's like less exciting. I was brewing Sultai Super Friends for a while, but it was pointless because playing once was better with just pile of value creatures. Yeah. Is there a reason this deck isn't on Anger of the Gods? Instead of me telling you why we're not playing a card, can you tell me why I should play it? Explain to me why you think playing a 3-mana sweeper in my deck full of mana creatures is a good idea. So, feeling pretty dead. Think I gotta stop this just to slow them down, but like, they've already got 6 power into play. Oh, right, and now they have a Nykthos and it doesn't matter. Excellent, excellent. Get Trond. I'm gonna board in these Bone Crushers on the play and a Stubborn Denial, I think. Give this a try. Oh, if this was a game trail, this hand would be absurd. If I was playing a Pioneer event this weekend, what deck would I play? I would play Blue-Red Eldrazi with Once Upon a Time. I think I still keep this, like, the hand's fine, but it's like, it goes from, like, being very good to, like, just okay, because this is a game trail. I think that's a different deck, Master Neo. Like, I agree that a Planeswalker deck with sweepers in it sounds great, but I don't think my deck with 8 mana creatures in it is able to leverage that plan accordingly. Stream needs more black creatures in it. Good morning. I will get that bumped up, Scooter. Thanks for the biddies. Right on time, Stomping Ground. Welcome to the party. Alright, so we're in an okay spot here. So they don't have that much devotion in play. Next turn, I'm going to get to go land, Wicked Wolf, eat the Elvish Mystic, and then we get to get Oko going and then start holding up Aether Gust, which sounds appealing. Gust doesn't work through Veil if you're targeting something in play. So Gust beats things on the stack through Veil. It does not tag things in play through Veil, though. Zumael, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Now, I think I'd rather just take this line. Like, I'm not super scared of their turn 2. I think I'd like to get my Wicked Wolf into play. It's a little bit more mana efficient than just, like, gusting them on 2. I just trade here. Probably not with Oko in hand. Yes, Veil is banned. That is correct. We're just discussing the finer points of how the card functions. So this food lets Wicked Wolf eat Jade Light Ranger. It also lets me hold up Aether Gust with Gilded Goose, which is great. So feel like we're in a pretty okay spot here. You get to sit here and just like keep pumping out food with Broku. Hey, thanks for the Prime support of Zumail. The ad roll does let you know that it's time to re-up. Hey, K-Dog, thanks for 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, I agree, Navier. They're basically a Tron deck. Huh? They're gonna eat my goose. You want to gust this? Like they have Nissa next turn. Yeah, I guess if they eat my goose, I have a hard time double spelling. I'm planning to stream through when they start Zajad, so probably not. No, I'm not a big fan of, like, space fandoms. If you're looking for other card games, Mythgard's another game that we're going to be wrapping up with today. I would much prefer. That is a very reasonable card game in general. Yeah, I guess that's true. I could have waited to see what they were going to do with it. Because if they were going to make it big, I don't really care. It's a good suggestion. No, I never really got into Lord of the Rings. It might be right. So, like, they're probably going to Nissa me next turn. So it might be wrong to play this goose. And maybe I'm supposed to just, like, gust them plus make a food with this goose this turn. Could see that. They put Nissa on top of their deck, believe it or not. Alright, so I'm going to play another wolf here. And I think I'm just pumping out 3/3s. So I want my board to be super wide for when they play this Nissa so I can attack it down. Should you play Field of Ruin in decks that have Aether Gust? I mean, if you can afford colorless lands, Field of Ruin's a fine card. I don't know, it's probably worse than Mutavault a lot of the time, though. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Giant dragons blowing through ya. Do 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 beep 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 do do. Attack them and exert. Attack them. Attack Nissa. Attack Nissa. GG. Yeah, we're pretty done here. Glory to the Hypno Dragon. Oh. It's a real banger right there. Here. Yeah, my only thoughts on this so far is that I cut the second Scion to fit in a land, and that was wrong. I want more Royal Scion. I don't know. Like, judging our deck off of, in that matchup, off of the games we just played is kind of silly. Like, I kind of hope they nerf something out of the opponent's deck one more time, just because it's incredibly unsatisfying to play against. Like, the opponent's deck is like basically the Tron deck of the format. The games it wins, the games you win against it are because they effectively didn't do anything. Fingers crossed they're going to play a Smuggler's Copter here and we're going to soft stub them. Just like we drew it up, chat. Just like we drew it up. Our curve's very good here. Just gonna stop this now. And like, Bonecrusher Giant is the second card in our curve too, so we're like actually get to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like straight on up the curve here. Hey, Mitt, thanks for the 10 months. We could use a climate change in Magic. You're not wrong. I've heard rumors the Invitational is fully packed with green devotion and people are buying Vivians at stupid prices. I'm excited for all those people to be super tilted when that deck gets banned on Monday. Vivian's $20. Lol. Oh, finance. I like that people are exploring second colors in this otherwise base black deck. Yeah, I like that card's real good. So I think I just like do this. Chandra, shoot the Bonecrusher Giant here. How do we feel about just like attack here? I think I like that. And then next turn we like, so they're gonna kill Chandra regardless here. The downside to attacking is if they have another creature, they can, oh, that's a wrinkle. Yep. Okay, so. Yeah, Chandra's gaining 3 here in addition to killing their thing, which is great. And then we just get to bang Rankle next turn. I wonder if they'll make us sacrifice creatures here. They might want to trade. They're just like going for the full boat here, huh? They're going to trade Beaumont Courier for Bonecrusher Giant, sure. We are dead in 2 to this Smuggler's Copter, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah. Feeling dead. Yeah, Scions or Oko would be great here so we can crew this Heart of Kiran. Wonder if my opponent's playing Unlicensed Disintegration. It seems kind of absurd. Yes, we talked about that before too. Glorybringer with 3 mana Kiora. I think that deck needs to look a little bit different than this one, but I agree that combination of cards sounds great. So you could diddle this with Kiora and then super dead. Super dead. Which is unfortunate because we drew a great card. Unfortunate. Definitely died to our mana that game. Just took too much damage from it. There's a real chance that if decks like what my opponent's playing are going to be popular, that these Wild Slashes should perhaps be Magma Sprays out of the sideboard. 3 mana Teferi does in fact stop 4 mana Chandra from working with her +1. Just super unfortunate. Recently started playing MTGO. Are people always extremely hateful in chat? Yeah, there's a reason why Arena doesn't have a chat box and hopefully never will. You can disable the chat box on Magic Online. In the lower left-hand corner, if you click on it, there's an ignore chat option. I would recommend turning that on. All right. Once upon a time, there was a land that put these game trails into play untapped. Yeah, if you click on this, you can click the ignore chat option. You can kind of see it behind my overlay. OmniZ, thank you for the 30 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Huh? Am I supposed to take the blue source that makes the game trails tap still? I feel like I am. I guess I don't have that many blue cards in my deck, huh? Yeah, Goose is a blue source. Good call. I also just don't have that many blue cards in my deck. I boarded out the stubs. And I just bought them to Noko. Wow, rude. Smuggler's Copter is so good in a format without Lightning Bolt. It's kind of unreal. Just gonna play this out so I can start pressuring them. I think racing them is one of the ways we win this game. Their deck has so much recursive value that just like trying to interact with them seems like a losing proposition. Once upon a time, there was a breeding pool. I feel like the answer is breeding pool. Yeah, I agree. I think a braid's a good card in the format. They looted away a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Value. A braid also notably kills Bonecrusher Giant, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and stomp this now before they can play a Black Source in their second main to protect it. So we're going to 8 here, and then I can shock to 6, Glorybringer, bang the Bonecrusher Giant, hit them to 4. Okay. Thanks for the 17-month Secret Muffin. Welcome back. I don't know if it's fair to say a braid's underplayed. I think part of the problem is that, like, there aren't a lot of, like, mid-range controlling red decks at the moment. And, like, a braid doesn't go to the face, so it's not really a card that, like, aggressive decks want a lot of the time. Snookum, thanks for the 8 months. Yeah, are we just dead again? I feel like we're just dead again. Heart of Kiran being super awkward here in a matchup where we're playing defense. Yeah, but they have Scrap Heap Scrounger in their bin, so I believe we're guaranteed dead because we're going to 3 here. We have to, like, draw another blocker. Okay, that lets me kill Knight of the Ebon Legion. And I guess I'm actually not dead on board because I can Bonecrusher plus eat a food. So, what am I bone crushing here? Is it anything? Do I just pass? Oh, right, we're dead to Copter. Yeah, we're dead to everything. We're dead on board, right? That we're taking 3 no matter how we slice it. Yeah, that match felt really bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess my big takeaway was from playing that set, I don't know if this is really a main deck card. I get there's going to be some matchup where this style of card is really good, but I feel like a lot of the matchups where I want Stubborn Denial, my Planeswalker should also be good there, and like Wicked Wolf being a sticky threat should be good there. The deck definitely felt like, you know, it's one of those decks where it, like, has too much and not enough mana simultaneously. So I definitely think more copies of the Royal Scions is good. I think I would probably even get up as high as 3. Like I said, I honestly just kind of hope that they ban Once Upon a Time on Monday. And I think if they ban Once Upon a Time, I would try and take this deck in a more Planeswalker direction. Like, someone had recommended Anger of the Gods. Well, I don't think Anger is particularly good in this shell with 8 1-mana creatures. I think in a slightly more mid-rangey, like, Planeswalker Heart of Kiran base build that has less creatures in it, I think that could be good. But I think as long as Once Upon a Time is legal, like, that's just the correct thing to be doing, and playing more Planeswalkers is just wrong. Because your deck's less consistent than it otherwise would be if you were just playing creatures. All right, so we got 2 more Pioneer decks coming up today. We got Emery Ascendancy as well as a 5-color Niv deck. I got to place an order with my sponsor to pick up some cards for these really quick, though, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks.